And of course, the mic was not fucking recording. Um, so let's just start that again because that's just some bullshit. I was talking for 10 minutes before I realized the fucking mic wasn't recording, but whatever. We're gonna try this again. Shit. Hello. How about thou? Greetings. Um, that just kind of blew me, but I'm not gonna allow it to blow me. The table looks crooked. The camera looks. I don't know if it's the table or the camera. It's probably both. I don't fucking know. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I am talking about, okay? This is what I have to do in order to record an episode so that you motherfuckers can hear me, okay? I have the fan going. I probably should turn it off, but it's fucking hot. It's summer right now. I'm gonna turn the fan off. I'm gonna just fucking turn the fan off. It's like it just doesn't want me to be great. I don't even know how much of that was recording. Oh my fucking god. Like, that shit is not even like, bruh. Like, I have to keep this right here just so I can see to make sure I'm still recording because I don't even know what those screens are called that people use, the monitors and stuff. They monitor the audio and all of that you can see all that on one screen to make sure you're still recording. I will be so fucking grateful once I have a team because it took me an hour to set all this shit up. And just now, once again, the microphone cut out. But I know this is building character. This is building me to be ready for having the skin to maintain, manage, and handle a team of people. Like dealing with multiple people, multiple personalities, multiple styles of working. So, yeah. That was a lot. That was a fucking lot. And this is what I'm holding up for a microphone. Initially, this was just my microphone, which is cute. It's fine. But I have to keep the fucking power box. Glory be to God, I even have one of these portable chargers. Because I have to use it to record my episode right now. So you motherfuckers can hear me clearly. Because I live in the hood and I live in the ghetto. And you're going to hear a bunch of neighbor running around, a bunch of talking outside and all that stuff. And I'll be grateful and glad once I'm able to have the equipment and everything that I need, the team and the people I need. I just know this is building character. And it's just showing me how to know how to work and operate these types of systems. It's great. This is some real this is some real grassroots shit, okay? This is some real grassroots shit. And I love grassroots shit. So that's what you're gonna get with me, okay? I wish this glare wasn't here, but it's fine. It's fine. I've had some technical difficulties. We have not talked in about 3 weeks. I have not had an episode put out in 3 weeks. That's because I've had technical difficulties with my external hard drive, my laptop, and I no longer have the phone that I was recording a lot of my footage and audio on, which was an iPhone 6. Old ass phone, screen was shattered. It finally gave out on me. So this phone that I have right now that I'm recording the audio on has no storage whatsoever because that's where all of my apps are. It's an iPhone 7 Plus and it has like 16 gigs or like 30 gigs on it, which is half of it is the fucking system operating. Anyway, you don't care. It's not important. Anyway, the point is that I'm back and we're going to keep this show going even though it's not to what the perfectionist version of my mind wants. This is what we're going to do to keep this show on the road and keep this show going because this is something that I want to do. And even if there are bumps in the roads, I know that it's just preparing me for being ready for the big shit, you know, when I have a team of people and I have like to manage all of these different personalities, workflows, and styles. So I'm grateful for the tests and challenges. Speaking of um, tests and challenges, I no longer can DoorDash anymore because they finally caught up on me. I have been driving a suspended license since 2019, and DoorDash was my form of income. Well, one of my forms of income, and they finally ran my shit and was like, "Ooh, get her out of here." Um, so yeah, that has been that, but it's okay because, like I said, I'm being challenged and I'm being tested. Um, like, so, I've been trying to do what I can with my business, with plants, and, with content and stuff. So I've had to refocus and kind of shift to short form content just to keep things a little stressed for myself. But I feel like I'm good to sit down and chat with y'all. Just kind of give y'all an update about everything that's been going on. So yeah, I've been feeling really good. Like I'm in a good season right now. I'm a season of just feeling pure joy, and I feel so blessed right now. And I just want to soak it up because I will tend to disassociate and try to expect negative, bad experience to happen. And I don't want to do that because I feel so blessed in the season of my life. This is the first summer, the first season of my life I've had fully to myself. This is the first season of my life that I have not been depressed, severely depressed, that I have not been suicidal, that I have not been in a codependent relationship or in a relationship at all, that I have not been casually dating. This is the first season of my life where I feel I have my full, undivided attention. And I feel so good about that. Like, I feel glorious about that. You know what I mean? And it feels really good. So, yeah. It took me, I am experiencing some bumps in the road with things that I have been tested on in the past, like my rent situation, right? Like my financial stability. That's something that's always kind of, I really hope this glare is not like distracting. I'm really sorry if it is because maybe it's just the fact that it's not centered is gonna fuck me up. So it's either the glare or the fact that it's off center, and I think I would prefer not having the glare. So we're just gonna do that. Maybe I'll just have to put something here, some other artwork here to fill that gap because that's gonna bother me. I don't like white walls if you can't tell. But I have had my grippy sock vacations. So yeah. Anyway, I don't even know. It's like it's so weird because like I'll go through life and through the day I'll be at work or whatever and I'll like, damn, I want to talk about this on the podcast or something that's in my mind that I'm like, okay, yeah, I just kind of want to rant about this. And then I'll sit down in front of the camera and I'm looking at myself and I can see myself. And it's like, I kind of get a brain fart, you know. But when I'm talking to people, like meeting new artists, like I've been meeting a lot of new people because of the different spaces that I have been taking up. And it's been really nice. It's been really good, like the conversations I've been having with people. And I have had a few events where I have been a vendor. And right now I'm only taking vending events or farmers markets where I'm not having to pay a vending fee because I can't afford to right now. Like every dime I make right now is my rent and my electricity bill. You know, these are basic necessities and putting food in my mouth. So it's like I can't spend $100 for a space at a swap meet if I know, or not even if I know, because that's kind of expecting that I'm not going to make any money. It's just I can't guarantee I'm going to make that $100 back. So, and even if I do make the $100 back, that's not no profit. It was pointless for me to be there. You know what I mean? Even though I did make some connections, and I did, network, I still am in a space right now where I have to make sure that my basic necessities are taken care of. And I've realized that in the past, like past season where I've had this like zeal for my creativity and my business, and I'm wanting to really get, I'm stepping into this entrepreneurship hustle mode, and I will kind of take a back seat on my capitalism necessities. You know what I mean? Because they're not a priority to me, but they are a priority to me, because in order for me to be able to do my art and do my creativity or my hobbies, like in order for me to fuel and feed those endeavors, I have to have a roof over my head. I have to have security. I have to have that stability. You know what I mean? And I'm a very like fuck the system person. Don't get it twisted. But we have to learn how to play the game. Like we can't keep being so gung-ho about trying to break the system when there are people who are continuing to play the game of the system and using us as pieces. Like, no, let's get in the game so we can infiltrate the system from within and get the resources that we need and balance this wealth gap out. You know what I mean? And I've been really grateful that God is placing me in spaces around people who are aware of that and who understand that and who are on board with that. You know what I mean? So I'm really grateful. Like I just got my new, well, they're not new, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. And the art studio where my internship is at, they had this like, basically all the artists there or anyone who's an artist, basically they had a bunch of shit they went through, and it's basically like a yard sale. So it was a bunch of like creative shit and like knickknacks, crafts, like bins, a lot of stuff that you could buy or take for free, and stuff like that. So I ended up getting my first set of my own screens for screen printing, and I'm really excited about that because like now that I have my own screens, I can start working on creating templates for transfers for my logo and for, merch that I want to make for my business. Having tangible things with my brand and my logo on it is something that's going to take me a level up in my business. And I'm just really excited about that. Also, my little brother, he told me like maybe a year ago, a little over a year ago, that he wanted to have his own clothing brand. And it just kind of hit me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything is kind of weirdly yet divinely timed and aligned, because everything that I've asked for is coming to fruition. I need to get up and make sure this is, well, it's fine. It's fine, because if the green light is on, then it's recording. But I no longer can basically see myself other than in the reflection, kind of. But anyway, my little brother wanted to start his own little clothing brand. And I thought about it yesterday while I was driving. I was like, oh, shit, like, I have access to make that happen for him, and I'm really big on, that's what my brand is about, putting on other black artists, people who are multifaceted. And there's so many people in my family who are multifaceted, but I'm not going to force anyone, But I did ask him and I proposed it to him. I said, if it's something you're still interested in and something you want to do, I'll help you with it. And if you want to, I'll take you to the studio with me and show you how we can make this happen. So that kind of just really like, that was like a eclipsing moment for me yesterday. Realizing that I can help my little brother, and that is a clear example of me working on breaking a generational curse, building generational wealth. So if he's open to it and if it's something he's still interested in, because I know it's about changing your mind. I'm a person who changes my mind all the time. You know what I mean? He's a kid. He's a teenager right now. So it's like his mind changes every minute. So, if it's something he wants to do, shit, we'll do it together. If it's something he no longer wants to do, he on to something else, then by all means, fucking go do it. If I have the resources and I know somebody that knows somebody, I'll help you with it. But that's what Black Alchemy is. That I'm really just working on refining and honing in on what this business and this creative safe space means, because it's a lot. I'm seeing a lot of creative spaces for creatives, and a lot of them are popping up, right? And the thing is that when I'm looking at all these people, because I'm studying, I'm paying attention, I'm not judging anyone, I'm not envious of anyone, because in the past I was a hating ass bitch. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a hating ass bitch, and Instagram has a very weird way of making you like that part of envy, that human part of envy, it just has a way of just squeezing and just juicing the fuck out of it. But I was a hating ass bitch. Instagram has this weird energy of just envy and just kind of watching people, and just like, it's like, especially with the stories, because it's like you can see who every day is watching your story and never likes any of your content that you post. And I get the Instagram algorithm is different. I get that. But every day you watch every story and you don't never see none of my posts. I'm watching you bitches. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, like, I'm seeing a lot of these creative these safe spaces. Well, they're not safe. Let me just start there. A lot of these spaces that these creatives are creating, I'm looking at them and I'm paying attention to all these different brands that are popping up around, me and my environment, what I'm seeing. And even like in other states, just like seeing on Instagram, just kind of studying people, just paying attention, because I love people watching. That is my favorite pastime. All of them are young. All of them are around my age, in my age group. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I love that. It's just, it's frustrating because they don't last long. Like, I will see these creative spaces pop up and these brick and mortars, and I'll be so amped and so hyped and like really excited, because Richmond is such a fucking creative, like, Richmond is like the most creative city out of Virginia, period. Okay, we have records to show it. Okay, there's a lot of fucking art here, there's a lot of creativity here, and it's frustrating because, like, outside of like universities and like outside of like places that have a barrier to entry, which is finance and access, there isn't really a lot of grassroots creative spaces. And if there are, they're kind of clicked up. Like, you kind of always see the same faces. And it's frustrating because it's like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm trying to like study these spaces and study these artists and figure out what went wrong, like what didn't work here. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing that we align in some of the same like goals as far as creating a safe space for artists, right? And one of the issues I'm seeing is like, you will have people who will say, we are trying to create a space for artists, right? A safe space for artists to explore their creativity and whatever. And then they also will say that like they'll kind of have this guise that their mission statement is kind of geared towards the underprivileged, towards black kids, towards black people, towards people of color, towards queer people, towards LGBTQ. And then that you'll see kind of the content they post is kind of revolving around like that anti-capitalist, for lack of a better term, because I'm just trying to just figure out words that y'all will understand. Just kind of like that very much woke kind of content. The people in the audience that is watching your shit, and the people in your neighborhood and from around the way, and the people who are supporting you, are people who know you and come from where you come from and trying to get out the mud just like you. So why the fuck do you think they can afford $100 to rent a goddamn a space in your studio? Why do you think they can afford $150 sessions, photo shoot sessions? And I get it. I understand. We all have to make money. I understand. That's what I said. We have to understand how to get in and play the game. But for me, I get frustrated because I don't want to play the game at the expense of someone else. I don't know if it's possible. I feel like it is. I just haven't been able to fully see it yet in real life. I've seen like the energy of it, but there's a lot of shit that's going on behind closed doors, and it's not what it's given. It's not giving what is given. And it's fucking frustrating, and it pisses me the fuck off. And that's why I be going. That's what kind of keeps me going when it comes to being consistent with this business and with this Black Alchemy business and this creative safe space I'm trying to build, because I'm a very raw and vulnerable person, and I have to learn how to set boundaries with how much to tell. But when it comes to like just having integrity, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it's just, we all have to make money and we all have to have our basic necessities taken care of. But it's just frustrating because it's like a lot of these small Black owned businesses, a lot of these Black creators, they're fucking poor. They're broke. They're one emergency away from being homeless. And y'all are sitting right here charging them $100 some for studio sessions. Make it make sense. And I'm not saying be on no like, I don't even know what's the word for it, but I'm not saying segregate. You know what I'm saying? But in order for us to balance the wealth gap, in order for us to balance out this shit, we need mutual fucking aid, okay? We need mutual fucking aid. And that to me looks like, for example, you have a nonprofit, right? And you have events that go on that, say you do like a tattoo event and you do a flash event. So you have these specific designs, 5 designs, and you have one artist who's going to offer these 5 designs, and they all at a set price and they're all at a set size, right? People love fucking tattoos. So people are obviously going to come out. The tattoo artist may have an agreement with the nonprofit that how much of the percentage of the proceeds go towards the nonprofit and how much of the percentage goes towards the artist. They have a contract, they have an agreement. If you fucking don't, you need to run, okay? I've learned from experience, and it traumatized the fuck out of me. I don't care who you working with, bro. When you come to, even if it, like, especially if it's on some grassroots shit, because all these other companies, these labels, they have teams. They have a legal team. They have HR teams. They have lawyers who are covering their ass that know how to read the fine print and that know how to understand the jargon. You do not. You are an independent artist. You don't have a team. You need to know these things, and you need to write this shit down. You need to document every fucking thing. So when you are collaborating with other artists who are also fucking poor, who also cannot afford to pay for $500 speakers and $300 mics, you need to have an agreement. When it comes to mutual aid, because people got this shit fucked up. When you talk about mutual aid, they think that it's just on some like pilgrimage, you know, just on some old time bartering shit. You trading a bag of beans for a bag of rice, and it's like, no. Yes, you are trading a good for a service. Yes, you are trading something that is not paper money. However, there still needs to be a written agreement to keep all parties involved safe and all assets safe. Because if you don't have $300 to buy your own microphone, right? For example, this board right here costs like $200 some maybe. I need a microphone, right? To do what I want to do on this board, I need a microphone, and I would prefer to have a microphone that is pretty universal, something I can use for my podcast, something I can use outside that is durable, and something that I can record audio on when it comes to music. The microphones that I'm looking at, they're like $300 to $600. You know what I mean? So when it comes to finding someone, an artist who doesn't know shit about video editing, doesn't know about shit about content creation, doesn't know anything about algorithm and how to, you know, make content that will make it into the algorithm, you can say, hey, to someone like RVA Sound Systems, I think their Instagram name is. I don't know exactly I don't know if they're, because they're a small collective. I don't know who all is involved in it because I have not met them in person yet. But I would go to someone like that, right? Someone around who is local, someone who I know has worked with other people and other artists that I've worked with. And I would say, hey, I'm an artist. I right now am independent. I don't have money to barely put food in my mouth. But I have all these other valuable assets that I can offer to you and other services that I can offer to you in exchange for a microphone that you are no longer using, something that you would recommend, because I don't even know what direction to go in when it comes to microphone shopping. You know what I mean? Do you have something of good enough quality that will get me through the first beginner stages of creating music? You know what I mean? And then we will work out the agreement on what we can exchange for that microphone. You know what I mean? And don't fucking think no shady shit, like real life shit. And that's what I mean when you need to have an agreement that all parties involved are going to sign, because once money starts getting involved, once capitalism starts biting its fangs into a artist or a human agreement, things start to get murky, because now you're working with other conglomerates of people who have access and knowledge that we don't have. Okay, so you have to cover your ass as much as you possibly can. And I just think when it comes to things like that, like mutual aid, like you have a yard sale, right? You have basically a dump site, you know, where a bunch of artists who have a bunch of shit that they don't use, that's collecting dust in their house, and that they don't want, that's not something that they want to sell, they just don't need it, they was going to throw it away. You have a full fucking pile of all this shit, and then you have a bunch of other poor artists, people who don't have access to buy any of this stuff, even if it's broken or it needs some refurbishing or it needs some cleaning up. You know what I mean? Like, that's a blessing to an artist, and that will kind of give them a little bit more confidence in their expertise, because now they have tools to make the process a little bit easier. You know what I mean? It's hard to express these feelings that you want to express through your art when you're sitting right here fucking fighting a microphone and fighting a software, just trying to get started. So that's what that's what I am creating with Black Alchemy. I don't know how. I don't know when that full vision is going to come to fruition, where I'll see two artists exchanging in services and glowing up and building up their own brands and businesses on their own, because they got in contact with someone who has the privilege and the access and the money to hand over or to give away a piece of equipment that they're not using, that's just collecting dust in their house, that they was going to throw away anyway, that they don't need the extra money to sell it. So if there's an artist, someone who's passionate about a craft, and they are hitting a bump in the road just to express a feeling and express emotion, because that's what art is about. You know, art is supposed to make you feel something. And if they are having a hard time just getting through that first hump, just to express it, because they don't have simple equipment that someone else may have an abundance of that they're not using. Like America, the West, not just America, the West in general, our overconsumption is fucked. So I get frustrated when people are like, not even frustrated, I'll sometimes feel insecure on my damn when I make a post asking for something in a group that I need, when that's what the group was created for. You know, it's buy, sell, trade. You know what I mean? There are people out here who have an abundance of shit that they're not using, and they would love to give it to someone who is passionate and who's going to actually put it to good use. I'm a person who loves, also, that is also what Black Alchemy. Let me just back up. Black Alchemy, okay? Alchemy, when it comes to transmuting one thing into something else, that's where that word comes from. The black part comes from darkness. It comes from the idea that you think of a candle in a dark room. right? Navigating through a dark house. One can't exist without the other. You have to have balance. So when it comes to trauma and it comes to pain and it comes to all these tests and all this bullshit, and it comes to those bumps in the road of trying to just express your emotion and something you're thinking about, something you're feeling, and you want to express it through your art, through your self-expression, and you transmute that into something through that art. You transmute that pain into something else, into something beautiful, something that tells a story, something that touches someone else, something that transfers to someone else, and it has a domino effect. You know what I mean? That's how I think of storytelling, and that's what Black Alchemy is. It's about that human to human connection, bridging that gap, closing the wealth gap. You know what I mean? Connecting people from two opposite ends of the spectrum and finding a commonality there. So that's what it's about. And through art and through creativity, we will do that. You know, through taking care of ourselves and showing up for ourselves, we will do that, because you can't show up for anything. You can't show up for any cause, anything if you are not good, if you are not taking care of yourself. Okay. And I had to learn that the hard way. You know, like, the only reason I'm in this season of having my full undivided attention is because story time, I guess, because I didn't update y'all on this or whatever. I was in a relationship for 5 years, right? And on and off, but lived with this person on and off, and basically I loved this person more than I loved myself. Yeah, I would say I love this person more than I loved myself. And I just wanted to see this person healthy, and I would do anything in that relationship to make sure that that came to fruition. That this person felt safe, and this person felt healthy, you know. And I wasn't extending the same intensity of those things to myself. And the only way God knew that I was going to be able to do that and to leave that relationship and to, because that relationship took up a lot of space of my attention. It took up a lot of my energy, and it took up a lot of me, because like I said, I was just so focused. My purpose in that relationship was to make sure this person is the best version of themselves they can be. It's to make sure that this person is healthy. It's to make sure that this person doesn't feel pain. You know what I mean? And that was my mission. But in the back of my head, I always felt like I knew that wasn't right, but I just felt like it was the righteous thing to do. It wasn't the right thing to do. It was the righteous thing to do. So, yeah, it made me feel good to make someone else feel good. But the goodness feeling of making yourself feel good first, and the outpour of that affecting other people, it's nothing compared to the latter, okay? Like, that shit gives counterfeit. That when it comes from you, that shit is pure. Like, that shit is the good stuff, okay? That shit is the purest joy and love when it comes from you first. When you focus that energy on making sure that you are healthy and that you feel safe, there's nothing that compares to that feeling. And God knew the only way that I was going to be able to feel that feeling and to make room for that feeling and for my undivided attention. And God knew the only way that I was going to be able to detach from that codependency was to basically shift that person's reputation in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, night and day. Like, this person could do no wrong in my eyes. And after this situation, that situation completely, like, it almost completely unearthed me. I won't say it did, because like I said, I've been in such a season of fueling myself first from my source. It was counterfeit because it was coming from this relationship and it was coming from this person. And it always felt that way. You know, it kind of felt like empty calories. It's kind of like when you eat a bag of chips, you know, just to get through, and instead of eating an actual meal. That's what it felt like. And God knew the only way I was going to be able to get an actual meal was to have this situation happen. And it broke my fucking heart. It made this person dead to me. It brought up a level of betrayal I never felt. And that was the most painful lesson in learning to trust myself first. Like, learning to trust my source and myself first. To go to me first. The second most painful one was the situation that happened 2 summers ago when I was working as someone's personal assistant. And this is why I say it's very important when you are working with other artists and you are working on some grassroots shit and you are doing some pro bono work, or you're doing anything that's mutual aid where you're not signing contracts or you're not paying someone. Even if you're paying someone, because shit, I had a job where I was doing a social media marketing and management, and I was administration for a car detailing company, and worked a whole month and never got fucking paid for it because he couldn't afford to pay me, and then fucking ghosted me and tried to whatever. Anyway, but basically with that situation, when I was working as someone's personal assistant who was in the art space and in that creative, and who is in the creative space locally, and who I rub elbows with a lot of people that we have in common because we are both in this creative space, in the artist space. And basically that turned into something that I didn't want it to turn into. I was supposed to be strictly professional business relationship. And once I realized that was no longer a safe space for me, that was also a lesson I had learned in having to trust myself first, because at that moment I was losing my fucking mind. I didn't know what to trust, because you have this person saying these things that sound like they're creating a safe space for you, and then their actions and how you feel physically when you exist around them, you feel so unsafe. It fucks up your chemistry. Like, those 2 situations fucked up my chemistry, because everything that's coming out of this person's mouth, your job title, like your experience, like everything you would think would make this a safe space, and it was the complete opposite. It was the fucking wolf's den. Okay, I walked straight into the wolf's den smelling like a goddamn cupcake. Okay, and I just wanted to learn. Like, I just wanted to, grow and absorb as much knowledge as I could from someone who had more experience than me. And I trusted that more than I should have. So I've had to learn 2 very painful lessons in learning how to trust myself first and trust God first. But I'm so fucking grateful, because right now I have my full undivided attention, and I've never had that before. I've never had that. Not in my adult conscious life. Not when I was in college, because I was casually dating. When I was in college, I was fucking around, because I was in survival mode, and that was my escape. My escape was sex, weed, and alcohol when I was in college. For sure. Like, like Tinder is very, and that's the fucking thing. That's what Thank you, God. The demon. She's not a Christian. Them demons. Fucking Tinder, bro. And not all Tinder, because like there's some good people that I've met through my journey of life, and it just so happened I met them on Tinder. So not all of my bad experiences have happened from Tinder, but Tinder has this energy, the same energy Instagram has. If you're not careful and you don't know how to center your motherfucking self, or you're gonna use these platforms, then yeah. And dating apps in general, but Tinder is the great value, fucking EBT, social services, DMV, very much giving government assistance version of all of the fucking dating apps. I'm not lying to you. I have fucking screenshots of messages men have sent me that is just barbaric. And I'm just like, what? Anyway, that situation with my relationship and how I had so much clarity, it was so painful and so like unearthing, but also it was so confirming that I needed that specific situation to happen the way it did in order for me to leave. Because had that betrayal not happened, I would have kept holding on to keep holding on to that person and grow at the same time. I would have kept trying to not leave this person behind, because that was my thing. And I told this person this. I was like, I just don't want to leave you behind. I don't want to feel like I'm leaving you behind. I feel like I'm growing, and I feel like I'm learning, and I'm evolving, and I feel like you are too, but not at the same rate or pace or even in the same direction as me. And I feel like I can't take you along, and that breaks my fucking heart. That shatters my heart. Not being able to take you with me in the best version of myself so you can be the best version of yourself. Everybody can't come. Everybody can't come on the boat. I'm sorry. Everybody can't fit on the fucking boat. And God knew that the only way that I was going to kick this person off the boat was for me to basically find out that they had been using Tinder for the past year and had been having relationships with 4 other people over the course of a year. And then when I asked this person, well, when were you going to bring this to my attention? They said, when it became a necessity, I guess now when you ask me. Cowardice. And I don't have room in this new lifestyle and in this new version of myself and in this strong relationship I have with God and this undivided attention I have with myself for cowards. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I'm sorry, but you got to go. Okay. And I can talk about it now because like I've learned and prayed and I've ranted and cussed about it in therapy. But now it's time to put it in my art so that I can fully let it go. And that's what I feel my art is for. Once I've talked about it in therapy, once I've prayed about it to God and God has told me time and time again, I done told you already what the fuck to do, bro. And that's why you keep running 50 miles per hour into the fucking wall, because you're not learning. I keep challenging you and testing you on the same shit, but you keep choosing the wrong answers. You can't take this person along with you and evolve at the same time. You can't take this person with you and grow at the same time. I'm sorry. It's just not, it's not gonna work. You don't have the room. You don't have the capacity. So I'm grateful for that. It was painful. It's fucking painful. Like if I think about it too much, or if like I see his mom, or if like I hear a song, I'll get triggered, or but I don't allow myself to like get triggered because I'm just not, it don't belong to me. That's your shit. That shit don't belong to me, bro. Because I know if it was a sex thing or if it was a mistake, you would have came to me. You would have came to me. Because if you wanted to fuck another bitch, then bring the bitch over. If she cute, let's make this a party. What you doing? It wasn't that, because I'm I'm not green, bro. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? You did it 4 times. That's not a fucking mistake. That's a choice. You don't get room to play with my fucking health. You don't get room to put my health at risk. You don't get the fucking permission. Nobody has the permission. Through all of the shit that I've been through, fucking ego death, suicide, all the fucking hospital stays, like all the panic attacks, all the times that I've sat in this fucking room and just wanted to die and feel like there was literally nothing tying me here. Like family wasn't enough, friends weren't enough, passions weren't enough. All in that moment I wanted to feel was joy. All I wanted to feel was peace of mind. I just wanted to not feel like there was just screaming going on everywhere in my body. That's all I wanted. That was the only thing I prayed for in the most suicidal and depressed moments of my life, was pure joy and peace. I just wanted peace. I just wanted inner silence. I just wanted to be able to hear God clearly. I was hearing so much from everybody on what I should and shouldn't do and what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I just wanted to fucking hear God. That's all I wanted to hear. And I was just like, just make it clear. Just make your voice and your messages so clear to me that I can't doubt that it's you, that it's coming from you. You know what I'm saying? Because we get so easily wrapped up in everyone else's validation and oh, you look good. And it feels good. Don't get me wrong. It feels great. We're human. We love that. We need that. But to attach to it, to be dependent on it is a whole nother thing. And I was dependent on it. That was my drug. That was my shit. You know what I mean? I'm a words of affirmation girly. Okay. Validate me. Yes. Validate me. I want you to. But I'm not going to hold on to that anymore. I'm not going to attach my identity and my purpose to that anymore. And that's the fucking difference. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to accept compliments, or I'm not human. Like, I don't like being told I look good and I look cute and my ass look fat. Like, yeah, tell me. Yes. And I'm going to say thank you with grace. And I'm going to accept it with grace and opulence. You know? But I'm not going to depend my living breath on it anymore. Like, we're past that. I'm done with that. And I think that's why I feel so confident right now in my life, and I feel like I look good. I feel good. Like, I feel like a bad bitch right now. Like, I feel like that bitch. I feel like that bitch that I wrote down in my journal years ago. Like, I feel like that bitch who is experiencing actual pure joy. And I remember asking God, I was like, God, is joy something like people, like humans, like actual people here? Is that something that there's someone here is actually experiencing? Like, not from money, like, and like, no matter what the lifestyle looks like, is joy something that's actually attainable in this life, on this planet, with all of the shit that's going on, all the shit that I feel that I can't reach? Is there a possibility of me experiencing actual inner peace, like inner silence? That's what I prayed for. All the extra shit, I know all that shit is going to come. I know I wanted inner peace, though. That's what I needed. And this life or death protecting my peace. And that means getting any cowards, any person who is willingly going to hide something from me for a year that puts my health at risk, that puts my peace at risk. You got me fucked up, okay? Try that with somebody else, not me. I'm not that bitch. I used to be. I'm not that bitch no more. But I have grace for that because I needed that fucking lesson. I needed that pain because God knew I was not going to leave that. I wasn't going to leave that person alone. I just won't. I wasn't. I loved this person. Like, this person had my heart. This person. Anyway. But yeah. I needed that to happen. I needed that pain. I needed that pain in order for me to create this art and this story, in order for me to tell this story, in order for me to alchemize it and be here, for me to be alive. I needed that. So I'm grateful. And I have been talking for about an hour now, so I'm going to get off of here. I pray to God that my laptop has been recording the whole time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient with me as I move through these obstacles of technical difficulties, and I'm just trying to, keep this show going, because I have a vision, and I'm not going to let up on that vision because it won't leave me alone, and God is not going to leave me alone about it. So, yeah, I love you guys, and I hope to see you next month. I'm not even gonna promise you anything. I'll see you next time. Bye.